So why are digital nomads eyeing Greece? Well, the answer is simple. Greece has quite a developed infrastructure. It's got fairly cheap prices in comparison to most other countries. And the Greek government have made it particularly easy for digital nomads to relocate and given some really good incentives. So one of those incentives is a 50% tax reduction. Now that is a tax reduction from Greece's 44% tax and not anything to do with your domicile. So you'll have to work that out with your accountant. Greece's internet infrastructure, typically between 50 to 100 megabytes a second for broadband. They do have 5G networks available in Athens and other major cities and some of the major islands. In some of the smaller islands, internet connections will be a bit hit and miss, but that's really dependent on which island you go to. So if you're wanting to do something like tutoring with Skype or Zoom, may not be the best place for you to be on one of the islands. So that in mind, being on one of the larger islands might be a better option. That being said, the cost of living is going to be far higher on more popular larger islands, say like Santorini or Mykonos. There are other options available too if you explore different islands, places like Crete or possibly even Kefalonia. You'll have to do some research on that. It's advisable you get onto websites and forums like Athens Digital Nomads and on Facebook and Reddit groups. They'll have lots of people who can assist you on that, as well as give you a fair idea of what's available for accommodation. Athens is not going to be the best place for accommodation, unfortunately, because there's a shortage of accommodation. Particularly there's a lot of university students and they struggle to get accommodation in this area. So typically rents around here will be between 350 to 500 euros a month, which is not too bad. Electricity prices though will be a little bit expensive, so keep that in mind. Particularly with the unpredictability of Southeast Asian countries, particularly at this point in time, a lot of people are turning to Europe as an option for, or an alternative for digital nomads. Europe is really setting the standard now for accommodating digital nomads with shared workspaces. With really good internet connections and great facilities. One that comes to mind is Vios, which is positioned right in the heart of Athens, and it's really state of the art. I can't recommend that highly enough. It's a completely refurbished building that can accommodate various different situations, work environments, whether you want a table or a desk for the day, or if you want something that's more permanent from a month to month, or something else. So lots of options there at Vios. So yeah, highly recommend that. But in regards to Greece as a place for digital nomads, the infrastructure's here, the weather's great most of the year. Winter sucks. I suppose it sucks anywhere, but so it's not the best. That's the one thing that Southeast Asia has over Europe, is that it's got better weather during the winter month. One of the things that you want to do before you come to Greece is get your international driver's license in order. There's a lot of things you need to get in place before you leave, before you actually get here. So what I've done is made a list of different things that you'll require, or things that are going to make your life a lot easier, rather than having to get here and then go back to your home of origin. because you don't have the paperwork or you don't have the right things in order. So sign up at overseas-exile.com or davelister.org, and I'll send you a free list of things that you're going to need before you leave. So strongly recommend that. In saying that, there are some cons to being in Greece. The infrastructure is good, but it's not perfect. I mean, I'm from Australia, where the infrastructure is absolutely pristine and well maintained, and the taxes are high. So there's a lot of freedoms over here in Greece, and the cost of living is actually quite low compared to other places around the world. So it's actually very good in that aspect. With the digital nomad visa, you have 7 years to settle in, and I suppose after that time, if you want to become a Greek citizen, you possibly could. The real name of the game that Greece is trying to pull off here is to attract very talented, skilled workers, particularly within the online realm. So if you're in that particular situation, this is going to be very favourable for you. One of the provisos is that you don't offer work to companies or individuals in Greece. Your work should be established outside of Greece. So just be careful of that if you do decide to make Greece your new base. If you're going to do the digital nomad in Europe, I strongly suggest that you get your banking in order before you leave. For people who are, say, from the UK, it's probably not going to be that big an issue, but if you're from, say, the US or Australia, strongly recommend that you get onto Wise, and I'll put a link in the description below. So yeah, strongly recommend that you get that sorted to avoid any frustrations. The other thing that I always say is get your birth certificate and marriage certificates apostatized before you leave. That'll save you a lot of trouble as well. So at the moment I'm in Monastiraki. This is quite a popular area, particularly if you want to get out, have a decent meal at night time, get out, have a coffee, or you want to meet with friends. Monastiraki is one of the main tourist hubs here in Athens, straight off Athena Street, and it's right in the heart. So connected to that is Plaka, but this is a really good location if you want to get out and see some sights. In regards to the requirements for the digital nomad visa for Greece, typically what you're going to have is about €3,500 a month coming in, and then I think it's around 20% more for every, for your spouse, and maybe 10% more for your children, or it might be 15%, don't quote me on that, but you get the gist. So you need to have that sort of money coming in, and you need to have a little bit of a savings to accommodate you during that process as well. So there's a little bit that's required in regards to obtaining your digital nomad visa. In regards to the processing of digital nomad visa applications, there's reports that they're sort of taking a while, which is typical for Greece. So at the end of the day, that long processing time will blow out if you make mistakes in that process too. So I strongly advise you to get a lawyer to put together your digital nomad visa application. If you go to Overseas Exile or overseas-exile.com or davelister.org and sign up, subscribe, I'll send you a list of things you'll need for your digital visa application, or digital nomad visa application, and on that, I'll give you the contact details for a local lawyer who specialises in immigration, which should streamline your application considerably. So go to overseas-exile.com and sign up, or davelister.org and sign up. Okay, so thanks for watching, and stay tuned, subscribe, go down and hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep uploading a couple of videos every day or two, so stay tuned.